In the 3rd century BC, the island of Rhodes stood as a beacon of wealth and maritime power in the eastern Mediterranean. At the threshold of its bustling harbor, a monumental project was conceived that would push the limits of ancient engineering. This was the Colossus of Rhodes, a bronze tribute to the sun god Helios, designed to be the tallest statue the world had ever seen. Rising approximately 70 cubits into the air, the statue reached a height of roughly 33 meters. This scale was unprecedented, equivalent to 2/3 of the height of the modern Statue of Liberty. For the people of antiquity, seeing a human figure of such immense proportions was a technological marvel that defied belief. Before this achievement, the ancient world had known large-scale monuments like the seated figures of Ramesses II at Abu Simbel. However, those Egyptian giants were carved from living rock or assembled from massive stone blocks. The Colossus was different, a freestanding figure made primarily of metal, standing precariously on its own 2 feet. To understand why such a monument was built, one must look back to the political chaos following the death of Alexander the Great. As his generals fought over the fragments of his empire, Rhodes attempted to maintain a delicate neutrality. This independence was tested when Demetrius Poliorcetes, known as the Bessager, turned his sights on the island in 305 BC. Demetrius brought a massive fleet and advanced siege machinery, including a 9-story ironclad tower called the Helepolis. Despite a year of relentless assault, the citizens of Rhodes held firm, bolstered by supplies from their ally Ptolemy I of Egypt. When the siege was finally lifted, the fleeing army left behind a fortune in abandoned military equipment. The Rhodians decided to use the proceeds from the sale of this equipment to honor their patron deity. Records suggest the booty was worth 300 talents, a staggering sum in the ancient economy. This silver would fund 12 years of labor and the procurement of massive quantities of bronze and iron. The task of designing the giant fell to Chares of Lindos, a sculptor who had studied under the legendary Lysippus. Chares faced the ultimate challenge of balance and structural integrity, as the statue needed to withstand the coastal winds of the Aegean. It is said that he spent over a decade overseeing the casting and assembly of the bronze plates. Construction likely began in 299 BC, employing a unique method described by contemporary observers. As each section of the statue was completed, a massive mound of earth was built around it to create a working platform. This allowed the artisans to cast and beat the metal in situ, hidden from view until the very end. Inside the bronze skin, the statue was not hollow, but supported by a sophisticated internal skeleton. Iron tie bars were anchored into the stone pedestal and extended up through the legs to support the weight of the torso. Stone blocks were also packed into the lower sections to provide a low center of gravity and prevent the figure from toppling. The bronze used for the skin was likely recycled from the very siege engines that had once threatened the city. This poetic transformation of weapons into art served as a permanent reminder of the city's resilience. When the earth mounds were finally cleared away, the gleaming figure of Helios was revealed to the world. For 54 years, the Colossus stood as a testament to the golden age of Rhodes. It was not merely a statue, but a symbol of the island's role as a dominant naval and commercial hub. Sailors approaching the harbor would see the sun reflecting off the bronze crown from miles away. However, the stability of the ancient world was often at the mercy of the Earth's shifting plates. In 226 BC, a violent earthquake struck the island, causing widespread destruction to the city's infrastructure. The Colossus, despite its innovative engineering, snapped at the knees and crashed into the harbor. The fall of the monument was seen as a catastrophe across the Mediterranean, and offers of aid poured in from foreign kings. Ptolemy III of Egypt even offered to pay for the complete reconstruction of the giant. Before proceeding, however, the Rhodians sent a delegation to the Oracle of Delphi to seek divine guidance. The oracle's response was unexpected and stern, suggesting that the rebuilding would offend the gods. Fearing divine retribution, the Rhodians decided to leave the shattered remains exactly where they had fallen. The bronze giant lay in pieces on the ground for nearly 800 years, becoming a tourist attraction in its own right. Even in its broken state, the Colossus remained one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Pliny the Elder, writing centuries later, noted that few people could wrap their arms around the statue's thumb. Travelers from across the Roman Empire would visit Rhodes just to marvel at the sheer scale of the fallen limbs. As the centuries passed, the cultural landscape of the island shifted from paganism to Christianity. By the 4th century AD, the religious significance of the sun god Helios had faded, and the remains were viewed more as raw material than sacred art. The valuable bronze and iron were eventually scavenged and repurposed for more practical needs. In 653 AD, following the Arab conquest of Rhodes, the final remnants were sold to a merchant from Edessa. Legend says it took 900 camels to carry away the metal to be melted down into coins and tools. Thus, the physical body of the Colossus vanished, leaving behind only the pedestal and the legends of its height. Later artists, particularly during the Renaissance, imagined the Colossus straddling the entrance of the harbor with ships passing between its legs. While historically inaccurate, this image captured the imagination of the world and influenced the design of modern monuments. The true Colossus likely stood on a circular pedestal, on a mole near the harbor, a solitary figure reaching for the sky. Rhodes would continue to evolve, eventually becoming a stronghold for the Knights Hospitaller in the Middle Ages. The medieval city we see today, with its massive walls and Gothic palaces, was built atop the layers of this ancient history. The spirit of the Colossus still lingers in the stones of the harbor and the enduring fame of the island. Today, the site of the Colossus is a place of quiet reflection for those who visit the Dodecanese Islands. While the bronze has long since been recycled, the story of its creation remains a pinnacle of human ambition. It serves as a reminder that even the greatest wonders are subject to the passage of time and the forces of nature. Discover more history by watching the next video. We're eager to share more with you. You can't go wrong. All our videos are deeply detailed, dull while fascinating, and distinctly sleep-inducing.